What is going on, all you Pokemon collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the PikiPikaPapa, and I can't believe April is in the rearview mirror. What an incredible month it was to be a Pokemon collector and investor. We saw Astral Radiance go out of stock. We saw it come back in stock and then go out of stock again. We saw Lost Origin, but the behemoth Lost Origin finally go out of stock, and then yesterday we saw Brilliant Stars go out of stock again. We saw alt arts go crazy. We saw buyouts left and right. It was just an incredible month, and so it is going to be hard for May to top April, but I will say this, I don't think any of that insanity is going to slow down anytime soon. I think there is still a whole lot of trading activity that is going to be going on here in the Pokemon space because, again, as we always say, that window of opportunity on Sword and Shield is slamming shut. It is not even closing rapidly anymore. It is slamming shut, and I think it's an incredible time to be an investor and collector. Now, you all know how excited I get at the beginning of every single month because we have such awesome content that comes out. We're going to have that PSA grading video that comes out here probably by the end of next week where we look at the most graded singles cards, the most graded sets, the most graded characters from PSA. We're going to be looking at, the top 10 cards that exchanged hands the most on TCG Player from a demand perspective. We always get all kinds of cool learnings from that. And then, of course, every single month I share with you the items that I am going after for my Poke Closet from an investment standpoint. And today we're going to look at 6 different things. And again, I use a core and explore philosophy, right? So these are the core things that I'm going after, but it would be boring if I just went after these. So I'm always shopping a little on the side for some fun knickknacks in the Pokemon space. But this is the core of where I'm going to be spending my Poke Dollars this month. Now, I will say this, if you want to be one of the first people to get an eye on some of those cool data dives that we're going to be doing, hit that subscribe button. If you have questions or comments, drop them down below. And as always, if you like what you see, give us a big old thumbs up. We got a small channel here, and those 3 small things go a long way in helping us out, and we really appreciate it. So with that being said, let's jump into some of these things that I'm spending my Poke Dollars on this month. And I've got to start off with Japanese Pokemon 151, right? Now, you all know, if you've been following this channel at all, I believe in a very narrow focus when it comes to collecting and investing. I think that's how you breed, mastery in a space. And so I don't spend a lot of my time in the Japanese card space because I'm just not great at it, right? I know much more about the English space, but I will say this, if anything could lure me over into the Japanese Pokemon space, it's going to be 151, and I will say it loud, I will say it proud. I am absolutely going to be picking some of that up this month. Now, one of the things that I really learned a lot about was this website called Sneaker Dunk down here, okay? So I will say this, when the reprint was officially announced, there was PokeBeach.com, which is a great website for all things Pokemon related, and they did this article on it, and they talked about how May, the month we're in right now, is when the product was actually going to hit the shelves. They also talked about on that Japanese website, Sneaker Dunk, which, as you can imagine, you can buy shoes on there, but they also do a lot of Pokemon products. The booster box prices were going for about $132, and then shortly after the reprint was announced, it dropped all the way down to $100. Now, I will say this too, I have never bought anything on Sneaker Dunk, so this is not me endorsing that website in any way, shape, or form, but we did have somebody in the Discord who went ahead and bought off that site, and I'm going to say it right now, Time Waster 1700, thank you so much for sharing your journey in the Discord, because this individual made a whole spreadsheet, because when you buy off this website, you obviously pay a pretty high shipping fee, but as the box number expands, the impact of that shipping fee is decreased, so they built this whole website out. I think they bought 8 boxes. The boxes came in. They had an authentication sticker on there, which we were told was very easily removed, but I have one positive review from Sneaker Dunk, and somebody bought Japanese 151 on there. Now, why am I talking about that? Why am I going so in depth in this? Well, because if you look at that trading history right there, booster boxes for Japanese 151, they're pretty darn cheap on Sneaker Dunk right now. They're going in the $70, high $60, even low $80 range, and I think that that's a really approachable price point. Now, do I think this is going to be a big reprint, right? Like, let's understand that there's going to be a whole lot of these Pokemon 151 Japanese booster boxes hitting the market this month, so I don't think this is something that's going to pop off and blow up overnight. I don't think the market's going to absorb all of it right away, but I do think from a long-term investment perspective, I think there's a lot of upside here. Do I think it's going to be EV Heroes? I don't think it's going to be EV Heroes, simply because I think that there's going to be so much supply of it, but I do think that this is going to be a great long-term buy and hold, and for somebody like me who doesn't have a lot of exposure to the Japanese market, I think this is going to be a really cool product to have in the Poke Closet. So for me, if I can pick it up in the $80 range, I will be all over it. Am I going to pick up cases and cases and cases of it? Absolutely not. Am I going to pick up a couple booster boxes and think that they're going to give me some decent returns? You bet your money. So this is a product I'm going to be going after this month, and I'm really excited to be adding it to the collection. Now, Next one's right here, and then there were two, okay? So every other Sword and Shield booster box at the time of this video is sold out on the Pokemon Center, right? We saw Lost Origin is gone, Brilliant Stars is gone, right? We talked about Astral Radiance coming in and out, and now it seems to be officially gone. You can still get Silver Tempest, you can still get Battle Styles. I'm gonna tell you right now, I think this is shooting fish in a barrel. I think Silver Tempest, if you can get it MSRP or below, I think that is going to absolutely blow up just like everything else is. Battle Styles, I don't think you're going to see that be a $300-$400 box further down the road, but if you can get it for $100-$110 right now, think about it. If it gets up to $170, I mean, you're talking about a 45-50% return on your money right there. It doesn't have to get up to a $400 booster box to give you a good overall percentage return. Now, I personally would still rather put my money into Silver Tempest, but if you feel like you have your full of some of these other Sword and Shield booster boxes, then I do feel like Battle Styles from a percentage standpoint is going to give you some overall returns there. And I'm telling you right now, until these are totally sold out on the Pokemon Center, I don't think we understand fully what Sword and Shield is capable of. I do think it's a little bit overhyped right now. I do think there's a whole lot of FOMO going on, which are driving booster box prices up. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these start to flatten out here in the relative near future. But I will say this, I think in a long-term perspective, again, I think about everything for 3, 5, 10, 15 years down the road. I think you will be hard-pressed to find better investments right now than any Sword and Shield booster boxes that have alt arts like Battle Styles and Silver Tempest does. So with that being said, let's get into the very next one right here. I talked about it last month. I'm going to continue to talk about it, except this month I think there's even more value in these Divergent Power Tins, and that is because last month when we talked about this, Astral Radiance was in stock, Brilliant Stars is in stock, but guess what? Now you get 2 packs of Evolving Skies, you get 2 packs of Astral Radiance, which is out of stock on the Pokemon Center, and you get 1 pack of Brilliant Stars, which as we just said is out of stock on the Pokemon Center. So in this box right here, tin, in this tin right here, you get 2 Evolving Skies packs, and you get 3 other packs, which are from the Sword and Shield era, from sets that have alt arts, and they're out of stock. I think this is an absolute slam dunk at $24.99. Love it when I can get a product like this at MSRP, and I would not be surprised if this doesn't sell out very, very quickly. I already have some in the Poke Closet, but I guarantee you I'm going to be picking more up this month because I think these are going to be gone like hotcakes. And the final thing that I want to talk about is this. Sword and Shield is coming to a close, right? I've got to start focusing on what I'm going to do after Sword and Shield. I'm actually trying to put a whole video around as to what does life look like after Sword and Shield is sold out. And you all know that I am a big, big fan of Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes. I am a especially big fan of Twilight Masquerade and on. Now listen, Twilight Masquerade is the equivalent of Chilling Reign, and we all know that in the Sword and Shield block from Chilling Reign on, things got absolutely Looney Tunes. Amazing art, amazing cards, huge price appreciation. Now there is zero correlation between Twilight Masquerade and Chilling Reign. There is zero, like it doesn't mean anything. All I'm saying is the back half of Sword and Shield was really fire. In the front half of Scarlet and Violet, as bullish as I am about it, we haven't seen a lot of the big names. We haven't seen a lot of really crazy art with an Umbreon on there or a Pikachu on there. We've got some decent Charizard cards, right? But I want to see a crazy Gengar card. Like, I don't think Morty's Conviction is as big as they can go with Gengar, right? So I am very bullish on the back half of Scarlet and Violet, and I'm starting with getting some heavy positions in Twilight Masquerade in these Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes. Now, even though I just kind of poo-pooed Twilight Masquerade, guess what? I love these 4 cards right here, right? That one card, that has Blaziken all over it. It just feels very Blaziken-like to me. That Eevee card, I love the artwork. I think it's a really cool card. The Greninja art to me is absolutely next level, and I'm going to tell you, I call that the cartoon fish card, okay? And now when me and my wife first saw it, both of us looked at that card and we were like, not so much, that art's not for me. But when I showed it to my kids, they both absolutely lost their mind, and they were like, we have to have that card. It is just the coolest thing since sliced bread. So again, you know, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, my kids today will be the buyers of tomorrow. Will their taste stay the same? Will their interests be the same? Probably not. They'll grow, they'll mature. But I think the fact that a lot of people are really into this artwork, especially the younger collectors, I think that's really cool, and I think it's something that's worth noting here for Twilight Masquerade. And listen, you know I'm a big fan of Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes to begin with. I think they're incredibly exclusive, incredibly rare, and when I think down the road, I know that right now they're a pain in the butt to store. I know right now the liquidity isn't great. I know that there's all of these negative things, but guess what? 5 years from now, I won't care about any of that. I won't remember of any of that. I think their exclusivity is going to give them a lot of upside in the long term, so I'm a big fan of those. With all that being said, listen, if you made it to the end of the video and you enjoyed the content, hit that subscribe button. If you have questions or comments, drop them down below, and if you like what you see, give us a big old thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you more than I can possibly say. You have an epic one, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody. Bye.